while crazy things that happen. Alright, let's go sit down. Okay, so I was on Molokai last year, and I was talking to these guys that was painting this building. And these young kids told me this fishing story. I was like, I couldn't believe this. But anyway, off of the Hanakai wharf, they caught an ono, a deep sea fish. And how they caught it, they said they were whipping, and just so happens when you're whipping, so when you whip, you cast it out and you reel it back in really fast. Okay? So anyway, they're doing that, and they caught an ono. How did they catch the ono? So when they brought it in, they found out they actually snagged the line of the fish. Right? So the fish had actually deep water, got hooked, broke the line, they swam in, and just so happens, when they casted their line in and they reeled it in, the hook snagged the line. And they brought this all in. I think it was like 6 feet long or something, a huge fish. But amazingly, that's how they got it. That was the craziest fishing story I've ever heard. But anyway, it's like the Bible, right? God works in mysterious ways. You know? So one of the craziest stories I've read was the story of Jericho, Joshua and Jericho. Does anyone know what happened in that story? And anyone? Come on. Nobody knows. I know Connor knows. Young kids? No? I know Sam knows. How about the winner? Jonathan, do you know the story of Joshua and Jericho? What happened? Okay, what happened? Talk to me, come on. Before you eat that or whatever that is.
They walked around the walls like 7 times or something. Then it just fell down. Or no, they did the trumpets and then the walls fell down. Then there was a good building of the lady that helped the spies escape. And then her ring survived.
Good job. So anyway, the part of it is right, they walk around this city, right, 7 times, they blew the trumpets, and boom, the walls came tumbling down, and that's how Joshua and the Israelites defeated that city, right? So it's crazy. So before I introduce our special speaker, right, this is how crazy it is, okay? So my daughter goes to Pacific Lutheran, and she was cruising with her friend, right, talking story and all that. And our speaker, right, just happens to call his friend. And they're talking, and then my daughter's friend said, "Hey, this guy is from Hawaii," right? And he said, "Oh, what school did he go?" He went to HBA. And my daughter graduated from HBA. And they started talking a little bit more, and then they asked, "Oh, do you play basketball?" I said, "Yeah." "So what club did you play for while you were in Hawaii?" He said, "Hoops for Christ." So that got the ball rolling, right? And then my wife immediately found out who it was, this guy Matt Amano, right? She went to her spreadsheet and she found out that he actually traveled with us. I think when we were 6th grade. Was it 6th grade? Yeah. And long story short, we found out, hey, he's coming back to Hawaii and he loves to do clinics. The last 2 nights he came and he did 2 clinics for our middle school and high school boys and girls. And that's how funny how God works. When God works in crazy ways. He does things, he allows things to happen, and we can't say it, but it just happens. So I'd like to introduce to you guys Matt Amano from H4C member.
The way today is going to go, I'm just going to kind of talk you guys through my journey to how I got to where I was today playing college basketball. Kind of just the lessons that I've learned over the years. And again, I'm just really thankful for the opportunity to speak because anytime you are presented with a blessing, right, you should always take it. Again, from there and everybody here is super kind to me and welcoming me back. Again, H4C, they taught me a lot when I was younger. I just very appreciative for the opportunity and just been really having a good time doing that. So just giving a little bit about myself. Grew up in Milwaukee. That's where most of my family still stays. Grew up playing rugby over there. Ridge over there, we played rugby too. We had two other teammates, Tyler and Chris. Good to see them as well. So that first picture, that's us in 6th grade. It's kind of blurry out, but you can see me in the back there with the pony hair. Really looking at that. And then a little photo, just in Vegas. The last photo was from this past college season, playing over at Amano in Oregon. So basically, the whole journey of getting to college basketball for me was always full of disappointments. I cannot tell you how many times even the next path wasn't very clear for me, and the obstacles that you had to go through. I'm just talking about the lessons. So just to give you guys a little rundown of my basketball career before I got to know. So basically, I grew up in Illinois, and then my 8th grade year at HBA, I worked there from 6th to 8th grade. My sister, she had accepted to do that. And after finding out about the news, me and my family made a super quick, spontaneous decision to learn. Why not move to Washington, right? Could be a cool experience, could be good for basketball, move somewhere new opportunities as well. So again, we took the opportunity, and it's something that I really appreciate. If you guys don't know anything about Washington basketball, it's a really underrated basketball city. I can go on and on about the names that have come out of the city, like the Paul Becker, we just won Rookie of the Year in the NBA a couple years ago. Jamal Crawford, Dave Robinson, Isaiah Thomas, Zach Levine, right? The list goes on, right? Down to the NBA players. So again, my first AU tournament in Washington, I remember. Straight from Hollywood, I was playing with FOH, same club team as Isaiah Thomas and Zach Levine and Dave Robinson. First game, cross the court to me, Paul Becker, right? If you mind, this was an 8th grade tournament, right? Again, Paul Becker, Rookie of the Year in the NBA a couple years ago, right? First tournament, across the court, right? They're already playing. I just seen a young American, right? And just that moment, this is exciting, right? To be around those type of caliber players, it's just that's what inspires me, right? It helps to motivate me to do better. Not the only thing, right? But that's one of the downsides of going to the board, right? There's not that many people to look up to in terms of basketball. And in terms of the opportunities, right? You gotta make work for what you're getting, and it's kind of difficult. But again, although it's difficult, although the chances are a little more slightly, if it's what you love to do, it's what you want to do, right? I mean, like, as I'll tell you guys, you have the same chance, if not more, right? So again, when I first went there, I just hope I can make the school team and middle school team. So middle school basketball was kind of light, not too much. And I got to high school basketball. In my junior year, I was playing varsity. That's the same year we also won the state championship in Washington. On that state championship team, had 60 guys who go to college. So you can imagine being a junior in high school, having 6 guys going out to college. There's not many opportunities for you, right? So that's kind of like the first basketball challenge I wasn't getting much minutes in the court, not getting many opportunities. My coach understood that my confidence was falling because of this. He goes up to me and asks me, hey, you want to play some JV basketball to help get your confidence up? And I'm not saying you found yourself in that position before that you are, or if you find yourself in that position that you are, but for me, I felt like a loser, right? I was embarrassed, I was ashamed of myself, like, what am I doing thinking I can play college basketball? JV, not on JV, but you know, playing JV games as a junior in high school, right? And that would kind of hurt my confidence, but life goes on. 6 days after we won the state championship, school gets shut down because of COVID. So again, for me, I'm not aside from all the bad things that COVID brought, but what I was really thankful from COVID was that period of time that I could really spend on myself, focusing on my dream and what I wanted to accomplish for myself. So I spent that next year working as hard as I could, doing what I could, trying to be smarter, trying to be better, getting away with as much as I could in my senior year. So my senior year comes, and from playing some JV games, I was able to start my senior year of high school, and then I played this decent enough, right, to find a couple of college opportunities. But again, those college opportunities didn't even come from the end of the high school year. Like, I found both of those opportunities in the summer. So in the summer, they didn't even know where I was going to college. So a lot of kids right here, you got to go to HBA, you guys have to figure out what college you guys want to go to in middle school, early high school. So for me, they didn't even know where I was going summer after high school, right? But I knew that basketball is what I like to do, it's what I love, it's what I want to be. So I got to keep the faith, right? So yeah, I had a couple opportunities, right, but one of them was all in South Dakota for junior high school. The reason why I took that scholarship was, the reason why I took the opportunity was because that school had given me a scholarship. So I felt like they wanted me, felt like they would have been a cool opportunity, so I took it, right? So a lot of things about these college coaches that they don't tell you is they lie. And I'm super honest, not every college coach, right, from my coach for now, super good guy, right? But college coaches, they lie to me. So I was told, yeah, they'll give you this, and you went up, and we want you to from a local, whatever, give you a scholarship, it'll be great, right? So I did it, right? And for me, I didn't even know much about the college world at that time, right? So I didn't know that most like D3, most of the teams, they had 2 teams. I didn't know that, right? I was never told that there was 2 teams. I guess the first meeting was like 30, 40 kids, guys, and one of them. Well, that's not a lot of guys for one team, right? Yeah, I was on the second team. So again, I barely scraped my way to college basketball. And I finally get here, I thought I made it. Not really, right? Second team, that's not really college basketball. So again, you presented with an opportunity to either feel sorry for yourself and woe is me. Another opportunity to be embarrassed because I already knew my mom I thought I was going to play college basketball, but not really, right? So what do you do then, right? No secret to being successful in anything other than hard work. So I worked hard, I showed up early, I stayed late, I watched them, I tried to teach myself how to carry myself as a basketball player. And eventually I learned helping out the practice. After helping out the first team's practice, I was able to travel, learn from travel, and so on, right? So again, I played just decent enough, just scraping my way. Finally find a couple opportunities elsewhere. The reason for leaving that school was for two reasons. Number one, South Dakota, if you don't know anything about that state, it's cold. Maybe it's 30 degrees in the wintertime, sometimes wind chill, because there's no mountains over there. And walking to class, my eyelids are freezing together and everything. Just not only that, but I didn't look at my team either. There's fights every day. If you guys watched Last Chance 2, that's kind of what it reminded me of. I mean, we had to roll our team. If you have beef with somebody, you get an argument, you guys go to lock up for 30 seconds, and then you guys come back up. You guys have nothing happen. You guys know, you guys are holding hands and lock up for 30 seconds. Yeah, so again, everyone was there was mad, right? Because they didn't have a good team atmosphere. The city is Aberdeen, South Dakota, right? So not really much stuff to do. It's cold. So naturally, a bunch of guys in the state they don't like it. It's cold, can't do anything. You get angry, right? You fight. It's not a good time, right? And so I wanted to leave there. Now that school's not even a school anymore, it's shut down. My head coach of that school also is no longer a college coach. He was laundering money with the athletic director. So you can imagine the type of atmosphere, the type of culture that was built at that school. And then, so after leaving, right, I had a couple of opportunities. One was Arizona Christian University. It was a good opportunity, right? They offered me like $17,000 to come play for them. And bro, they're one of the best AI teams in the nation at that point. We also get a lot of opportunities there, and I didn't really feel as if I was where I was going to land. So at the same time while I was struggling to find a new home, I found out that my old high school coach, someone that I really looked up to, someone who I really enjoyed playing under, he just got hired to head coach of Northwest University in Critical, Washington, which is right across the bridge from Seattle. So when I heard that, instantly we got to talking, and I really wanted to play for him and brought me on. And that's how I landed at my current school. I've been there for 2 years now. And although it's definitely a lot more expensive than Arizona Christian University, just because they don't take government funding, right? So like, if you guys know Seattle Christian University, the reason why they're going downhill is because they have to change the way the school works because they need government funding. And Northwest University, they don't do that, right? So they've got to charge their tuition bills. So taking out student loans. Currently, I'm a coach. I work full-time for Amazon too. I deliver packages. I don't coach right now just because my team ended a little bit early, right? But in the business time of summer, right? 4 shifts, 10-hour shifts, delivering packages. You get anywhere from 350 to 400 packages. And before you get to your shift working, right? You got to lift, you got to hoop. So it's tough, but when you love the grind and you love what you do and what you really want to do, it's not hard, right? It's all easy, and it's fun. And again, over this time, I've just learned a lot of lessons. So again, the first lesson that I kind of learned was relationships. So you see those 2 videos right there. To the top one right there, that's what we needed to put out. So my university, small university, we haven't made it to the playoffs in a long time. Our final game is against Moldova, right? So the thing about Moldova is they're big, right? But the thing is they're not very disciplined. So when you play against an athletic, talented team, it's not very disciplined. That's one of the scariest games you can play, right? Because you never know. They're either going to come out on top, they're going to be doing everything right, or they're just going to be falling apart completely, right? And again, it was a good game. Like, they were doing everything that they wanted to do correctly, and it was a tough battle for us. That lower video you see there, that's just kind of an example of like what our state championship game looks like my junior year, right? It's in the Southern Black in Washington. Big stands. My junior year, we played against Linden Christian High School, right? It's a small town. The thing about that small town is everybody there is every single basketball game. The whole basketball, it's a basketball city. Everybody there loves basketball. So that's kind of our rival school. So everybody from our school came out, everybody from their school came out. Big lights, huge arena, right? This is fun atmosphere. So again, just really appreciate that. Again, more about relationships. Those are 2 pictures from different years of the past couple of seasons at Northwest University with my teammates, and that photo kind of in the middle of them. That's the first team I ever coached. I coach a 9th grade A team now, but that's my 6th grade team from a couple years ago. The reason why I speak about relationships is because over my years to college basketball, I understand the importance of having relationships and different types of relationships. So number 1, the first relationship you guys should try and build is with someone younger than you, right? If you purpose on building a relationship with somebody younger than you, you form a sense of accountability. It also gives you an opportunity to act as a mentor. It's also an opportunity to give back information that was important to you. Another type of relationship you should have is somebody your own, right? Someone who has the same morals and values as you. Someone that's going to push you to reach your goals, and someone that you can also push you to reach their goals. Again, it's another form of accountability. Everything is a form of accountability. When you have accountability, it makes your chances of success a lot higher. And again, when you have someone your age, right, that has the same morals and values as you, has the same goals, and has that type of influence in your life, that relationship is so much more valuable. Of course, over the years, your circle will get smaller and smaller and smaller, right? But it's really important to understand that, when you're a kid, right, your parents always say, oh, who do you hang around, who do you become, right? But yeah, yeah, there's some truths and not so much truths to it, but there's people who are really, really close to you in your life, people that you really call your best friends. You have one of the greatest influences in your life. And so, again, I'm thankful for my friends like Shane. I'm thankful for a lot of other people in my life because those people your age, right? That's the easiest way to just fall in love with the grind, fall in love with the hard work. When people around you are also doing the same thing and trying to fight for the same opportunities. Lastly, type of relationship you should look for someone older than you, right? Someone who's been where you want to go, someone who's doing the things that you have to do. And again, it's also another form of accountability, right? For me, that person, takes from a couple of different people, right? Naming my head coach, right? I can remember, like, if you guys remember me from way back when, like, I see what you did, and everybody knew me for always trying to be funny, always trying to make trouble and whatever, and not really taking anything seriously. But thanks to him, right, like, he helped, really calm me out. One of the greatest things I had to learn from him was how to be really honest with yourself, right? Look at yourself in the mirror, because, if you ask anybody, right, they do a bunch of studies on this all the time, hey, do you think you're a good person? If you ask that to even the people in jail, even they will say that they can get better than most people. It's natural, it's human nature to think that you're a better person than what you really are, right? But when you learn this skill, and even though I think it's impossible that you would develop this skill to honestly look at yourself in the mirror and see yourself for what you truly are, it's something that you can get better at, right? Something that can really help you in your life. Because that's one way to be able to, you don't need somebody else to tell you, hey, you're kind of doing this, right? You can't do that. You can just fix it yourself. You don't need help from other people. So having those three types of relationships, so young, someone that's rich, and someone that's older than you, is really what's going to be a key to success. And again, relationships is the key to leadership, right? Like I know a lot of you guys want to be leaders, a lot of you guys want to take leadership roles. Your parents, some of them you work in leadership roles in your workplace. If you guys want to be a great leader, the key to being a great leader is relationships. Why? Because relationships, that's where you have the most influence. If you just see a random guy or a random lady, they try to tell you what to do, it's like you brush them off, or you don't care because you don't know them. They don't know you, you don't care about them, they don't care about you, right? Like your parents, you don't care about them, they have good influence over you because you don't have your best interest, right? So if you want to be a leader on the basketball teams, if you want to be a leader in your workplace, learn to build a relationship with those around you because when you build relationships, you don't need to fight to please somebody around. You don't need to try to do your best, this person keeps doing this, I can't get them to change because you have a relationship with them. It's a lot easier. Another key to building those relationships is just love. I have 2 points to this. Understanding the why, and it's not your job. Understanding the why comes into play because a lot of times you just take anything for face value, like, oh my gosh, this person did this to me. I cannot believe it. It's so easy to get mad, it's so easy to feel hurt, it's so easy to get distracted by it, right? But when you understand some of these whys, like, okay, maybe because this person went through that, maybe that's a little bit why you're acting this, right? And again, of course, all of these things are just human nature, no one's going to be perfect at it, right? But you can always get better at these things. So understanding the why can just help you guys to learn patience, and understanding just how people look in general, right? Because most of the time, people aren't looking to hurt you, they're not looking to make trouble. They're not looking to be bad people, it's just it's human nature and you just subconsciously do things to other people. And if you just understand the why, right, it's just, and even if you're yourself, like you guys can do yourself and you guys can probably think right now, well, here's something I do that I'm not really good at, right? Then you're going to understand your why and other people's why. You don't even have to know their why, but just understand that inside, hey, maybe you didn't like this because of the reason. So even if they're hard to deal with, even if they're mean to you and you owe them nothing, just know that there's probably a reason for that, right? Secondly, it's not your job, right? I've tried to at times, with certain people who trying to change them, right? Trying to get them to do something that I thought would be better for themselves in their lives, right? And oftentimes I didn't really look out for them. You cannot really change somebody, especially with someone who's going through something really deep inside themselves. So you have to understand that it's not your job, right? It's not your job to police somebody. It's just going to wear you down, it's just going to cause you to just lose sleep over nothing. That's only God's job, right? It's not your job to try to change somebody. Your job is to just love them, right? And when you love them, God will take care of the rest. So again, it's not your job. You don't got to worry, right? I mean, again, I say this with caution, right? Because obviously, people are some people that are correct, right? There's times and there's places for it, but there's especially someone in your life who puts it they're difficult to be around. When you keep trying to change them, you keep trying to influence them to make a better decision, chances are you're probably doing it the wrong way, right? You're probably angry at them, probably upset, probably constantly reminding them. And even though you want to say the right thing and doing the right thing, it's not going to help them because it's not your job, right? You have to leave it to God. Okay, the next lesson I learned was perseverance, right? All the challenges I had to go through to get to where I was. I say that again with a couple of things. So number one is I have failed in the start, I have failed in the middle, and I currently failed, right? I spent 3 years in college level, right? Some of you guys right now in your past season has probably played more minutes than I have, right? These past 2 years. It hasn't been easy, right? Same story for me when I was in high school. I had to work really hard for 3 years to get the one. And then when I got that 1 year, I had to work really hard to get the one opportunity, right? And when I got to college, I had to work really hard to get on the team, right? Like every stage of my life, I've been able to get there, but barely, right? And again, it can be disheartening at times, right? Because you feel like you put in so much work, and you get there, right? But sometimes it's almost like, hey, I wish I never even got there, right? Because being here is so much harder than this is right now, and this is not having to do with it at all. But again, you get to understand that everything is temporary. So, the next line, Psalms 37:24. Though he may stumble, he will not fall. The Lord upholds him, with his hands. The funny thing is, when I was upstairs in the next building, over there talking to him slides, he said this is one of his favorite verses, right? So again, you can stumble, right? And my uncle there told me that you can stumble a lot in your life. It doesn't mean you're far, right? Like, you can always keep going because the Lord is upholding you with his hands. So the next lesson I learned was spiritual maturity. And this is probably one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned in my life. And not even a lesson that I've learned, but a lesson that I've learned, right? It's always kind of weird to come up here and speak about this, right? Because inside, I know, right, that what I'm telling you guys right now is something that I struggle with. So it's not to say like, oh, these are lessons I've learned and I'm doing great, but I know these are lessons that I'm learning currently and trying to get better at it. So yesterday's group, I asked them, what do you think makes a real man? What do you think makes a real woman, right? And of course, they gave us a basic answer like, oh, you gotta provide, you gotta be strong, this and that, whatever, right? But the test of a real man, the test of a real woman, that's how you deal with adversity, right? Like, it's really easy to tell when someone's immature, right? They deal with a problem, they get that news, and they're like, oh, all of a sudden they're acting like a kid, yeah? Like, it's really easy to tell when someone's immature, spiritually immature, when they're dealing with a hard situation. And so for me, like, once I moved to the mainland, I was instantly hit with the reality that, wow, I'm so mature, and I probably need to change, or I'm not going to make it very far, because, and again, I repeated the 8th grade. Like, grades weren't that bad, right? But again, it was more so like a maturity thing, right? The need for change. And again, just a little bit more about basketball. Kind of what I explained to the kids the past couple of days is what they don't tell me about college basketball is how much politics matters, especially in men's basketball. I don't know exactly how this for men's basketball, but I can attest to men's basketball that politics is a real thing. And what I mean by basketball politics, it's the connections you have. It's the way people view you. When you walk in the gym, do they see you as a real threat to another team? Do they see you as an asset to the team? Do they see you as an opportunity to get more wins? Or do they not? And what I had to tell the boys and girls over the past couple of days is number one thing you have to understand about yourself is you do not pass the eye test. When you walk in the gym, no one's going to double check you. No one's going to like, oh, what's your name? Where you from? No one's going to care about you really because you do not pass the eye test. And so what I tell them is you got to beat the eye test. And again, I'm going to preface with saying this matters, right? Because that's why politics matter. Because if a coach isn't leading a certain way, if your team is not leading a certain way, you can have all the skills and all the talent in the world, but you cannot put them to use when no one else around you believes in you, right? So you need to generate that belief, and that starts with yourself. And again, before I continue on the list side, I'm forgetting a couple of things. So again, I had to change myself, again, because of lack of maturity. For myself, right, I don't pass the eye test either, right? I'm not that tall. I'm not overly athletic. I don't do anything crazy, right? When you don't pass the eye test, you have to not only do everything else great, like your grades, coachability, understanding the game of basketball and plays and everything like that, but it's the way you carry yourself, right? When you do the eye test. So I told the kids, number one, when you walk into a room, when you walk into the locker room, the court, you have to have a presence about yourself, right? I know it's natural tendencies for people from Boulder, not really people from Boulder, like Asians in general or stuff like that, to want to be humble, want to walk their head down, maybe not really look people in the eyes, not view people. But no, if you want to have a presence about yourself, you gotta let people know that you're there. You gotta walk into a room, you gotta look into their eyes, right? You gotta greet them, right? Because when you walk into a room, you keep your head down, and you don't have a presence about yourself, people just forget about you, right? And when they forget about you, the coach is going to think, oh, I can use some of this lineup. He would be really great situationally for us in this moment. You have to have a presence about yourself. It matters so much. There's so much that goes into college basketball outside of just, can I hoop? And another thing about beating the eye test is, yes, of course, obviously, you have to be able to perform well. You can't perform well in this kind of period. But you have to respond to challenges. What I mean by responding to challenges is, take for example, while you're playing in an open gym game before the season starts, and one of your new teammates starts talking trash to you. What do you do then, right? It's not to say that you gotta go over there and start a fight, or you gotta go over and start talking trash back to them, but you gotta respond to the challenge, and at least let them know that you heard it, right? Like earlier sometimes, I thought I was doing the right decision. I just threw my head down, playing my game, right, not saying anything back, not even acknowledging it, right? And I know it's so common for people to say, hey, don't even worry about it, don't acknowledge it. No. If you're a guy, right, you gotta acknowledge it, but you gotta let them know, hey, I heard you, right? Again, not saying you gotta start a fight or talk back, but just let them know that you heard them. Because when you don't let someone know that you heard them, they feel like, hey, they're actually guys, they just want to test each other. They want to see how far can I get with this person. They want to dominate each other, right? Which is natural. So we gotta let them know, hey, I heard you. And when you do that, you let them know that you have a presence about yourself, and they can't just say whatever they want to do or push you out. And you just watch how drastically different you are treated, you're going to be how much more respect people will have for you, whether it's right or wrong. So again, going into the first part of spiritual maturity is anger. The book I'm reading, by Brad Hanson, some of your parents might know from his radio show or whatever, his whole book is based around the topic of anger. And how the idea is that you shouldn't even be angry ever, period. And obviously to us as humans, that's not really something that's realistic. We can talk about it, we can understand the reasons why, and no matter what we do, that will never be realistic because of human nature. And he brings up two really interesting points in his book about anger, and why you should never be angry. One of the first points is perpetual disbelief. It's kind of related to insanity. Everybody knows that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Perpetual disbelief is the same thing. Driving on the H1, right? Everybody knows when you get bad drivers or somebody cuts you off. You get cut off probably every other week, but every single time you get cut off, you get angry about it. You get shocked. Like, oh, I guess that's never happened to you before. But really? Have you never been cut off before? Like the person that did something to you, they did it again, and they always do it, and then you're still shocked at that person. Like, why would you waste your time and your energy being upset about something that you can already predict is going to happen to you in the very near future? It's just a waste of your energy and your time. It's not a biblical principle. The second point to that is living in the reality of your forgiveness. Of course, again, it's really hard to not be angry, right? But everyone in here has done bad things. Everyone in here has had to be forgiven for a lot of things every single day. So when you live in the reality of your forgiveness and understand that God forgave you for so many things, God can not forgive somebody else, it helps you not be so angry, right? Because you see yourself, you see life through the lens of the mistakes that you've made. And it's not to say that you should weigh yourself down with those mistakes and constantly put over and over and over and over and negative, but just understand that, hey, you probably made the same mistakes, if not worse, with what that person just did, that just made you angry. So why not just look at it through the lens of your own mistakes that you have been forgiven for? And again, it's a really hard thing to do. It's not natural for humans. But again, if that's a skill that you can learn to develop and get better at, it'll save you a lot of emotional work in your future life. And again, it's not something I'm developing, something I'm trying to work on, right? Especially as a guy, so many things to get angry about. my job, man, I get angry so much. So many irritating things that you gotta deal with. You can't even use the bathroom, you gotta pee in a cup. Yeah, your Amazon packages or your FedEx packages, they probably have some pee on them because you go piss in the cup or pee in the cup. So it's the truth. Yeah, we're going to the next slide. So again, this verse right here. Don't sin by letting anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent. Another verse of Psalm 4:4. So again, we're all going to get angry. We're going to get angry probably maybe tonight or tomorrow. It's not to say that you just can't get angry here. It's a natural human reaction. It can be beneficial from the fight or flight, right? But again, when you experience that anger, you feel the anger come over you, think about it, sleep on it, don't react to it, right? Don't just let your emotions control you. Be taken completely over by your anger, because it's hard to sit in your anger and do your best to control yourself. And make a better decision the next day when you wake up, right? And I know a lot of people always say, you need to sleep on it, right? Because think about the people in power, right? Like a judge or a police officer, right? You don't want them being angry at their job. Why? Because you can't make decisions with them. And again, going back to perpetual disbelief, like I cannot tell you how many classes I've heard in my life. I cannot believe that this, our world today does this. Like, it hasn't changed. You know, maybe it's gotten a little worse than it was. You know, but history changes, it goes up and it goes down. People have been doing the same things that they've been doing ever since people existed. So again, when they're out there talking like, hey, I can't believe this person did that, like really, they're passive, and you cannot believe that people are acting like people ever since the beginning of people. So that's just a little bit about anger. The next part of it, spiritual maturity, is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a really common topic, it's a really hard one to deal with. Number one thing that you guys should understand about forgiveness is what a lot of people will tell you is that it's not for the other person, it's for yourself. If you can think about the bitter people in your life, the old bitter lady, somebody that you know is always bitter, always upset about something, the chances are it's because they haven't forgiven their past hurts. They've been hurt by somebody or something, or they've regressed in their life. They just haven't been able to forgive the other person or themselves for whatever it was. Forgiveness is not for the other person who hurt you. It doesn't matter if they know that they forgave you. It doesn't matter if you can see the person again, or if you can even stand the person, right? Like, forgiveness means that, hey, I'm not going to let whatever past hurt weigh me down anymore, right? Because it's not affecting them. You think they're sitting over there in wherever they are, and they're like, oh, I remember when I did this to that person. They're probably, no, they don't think about it anymore, right? So, you guys, it's not for them, it's for you. And of course, forgiveness is something I always have to deal with, and something that people have to do. People always have to forgive me for things that I do, right? But again, it's not for them, it's not for me, it's just for yourself personally, okay? Don't remain on what was, but what will be. Forgiveness is a tough thing, right? Anytime you go through a hard situation, there's never really going to be 100% great way to go about it. There's never going to be really 100% happy solution to it. But it doesn't mean you got to choose the hard way out of it. What you can do is focus on the future, what could be, right? Recently, a little bit before the summer started, I started going to a Pentecostal church with my girlfriend who I traveled with. And I'm not per se a Pentecostal Christian, right? If you guys know what Pentecostal is, if you guys have ever been on social media and seen people running up and down the hallways and dancing and looking all crazy, and people talking in tongues, and it kind of looks a little bit different if you maybe go to a non-denominational church. That's what a Pentecostal church is, right? I've never been in one previously, but so that was very different for me. Very, very different when you got old ladies who are running up and down the hallways, and you got guys who are doing the same thing. It's just not something that's doing for me. But what I can say about the Pentecostal church is I learned more in that church than I have in any other church I've been to, right? Four-square churches, non-denominational churches, right? I've learned so much more from that church than I have anywhere else. It's not to say that there's anything wrong with four-square or non-denominational church, or that a Pentecostal church is really better. It's just that, and the reason why I'm bringing it up is because a lot of what I'm talking to you about today is lessons that I've learned in that church. The next thing we're going to talk about is expectations. Expectations are a huge thing in life. For you young guys, right? The expectations of the future. For the high schoolers, expectations for what the college life will look like. For the people in college, which are like after college, everybody, every single life has so many different expectations. And there's so many lessons on some work and expectations as well. So number one is, it's not to say that you guys need to just have the worst mindset about people around you and just automatically think the negative. But number one, you guys should have the expectation that people and things will fall short because of their nature, right? Not because they're trying to do the intention to hurt you or to do something, but just because they see the nature to fall short. And that's a great thing about Christianity, right? God's love is that it's perfect for us. Even your parents that are sitting there in the crowd, they don't have perfect love for you. They can love you a lot and tell you that they love you more than anything else in the world, but their love for you is still not perfect. Take for example God, right? When I sin, I used to think like, oh, he's going to get me for one day, oh, he's so mad, so angry. But no. He already chose to forgive me about it. He already knew it was coming. He's not upset by it. He's not shocked by it. He's not in perpetual disbelief about it because he already knew, right? And that's the type of perfect love. Although you know someone's going to betray you, although you know someone or something will fall short, you still love them and act that way. Whatever you do, no matter how many times you do it, you still do and treat you the same way as I always do. Here's how that is a Christian. Here's a couple of myths that I've heard over some time. The Christian life is a hard life. And yes, that is true, like it makes sense, but like to me always the Christian life has never been a hard life, right? It's the idea of giving up your old life that's so hard. My coach always tells me this, right? He's telling me the same time every year. Yes, there's some benefits to being a Christian, but the Christian life is a very hard life. It's me, I think back in my life, right? I think back in my journey of college basketball. The Christian life has made my life so much easier. Although I was met with so much uncertainty, although I was met with so many challenges and things that kind of hurt my confidence and the way I view myself in basketball, it never really weighed me down. It never really made me feel too bad. It never really scared me. It never really went into me because I knew I wanted to be a college basketball player. I knew that's what I loved. I knew that's what I wanted to be. And so I had faith in it, right? Because I knew that's what I was made to do. So even if you find yourself in a situation where, hey, this is something I really, really want, something I really desire to be, it really challenges, right? But when you live and you walk a Christian life, everything becomes a lot easier. You don't have to worry about, oh, I'm going to make it or I'm not. Because at the end of the day, especially for basketball, you don't make it to a tournament. It's just a game, right? It's not that big of a deal. You'll end up exactly where you're supposed to be. And wherever you're exactly where you're supposed to be, you'll be happy in that situation, you'll be in any other situation in your life. And again, another myth is there is such thing as righteous anger. This really tries to support the way I would tell you because people will tell you, pastors will tell you, the government will tell you, there's a time there's a place to be angry. And maybe for humans because we're not perfect and we're not capable of perfect love, but in reality, if we were trying to live out a Christian life in a perfect love, there is no place for righteous anger. There is no such thing as righteous anger because we ourselves are righteous. A lot of times in common humanity, we always think we're entitled to different things. We think we're entitled to our emotions of anger. We think we're entitled to feel some type of way. People will go out of their way to go on social media to feel angry. And most of the times, the things that they're feeling angry about is things that they've done. Whatever, when you watch something like, oh my gosh, look at this person, look at that. If I was in that situation, I would have let that slide, right? But it's just like, one of those things that people love to be angry. People love to feel the ways that, that is human nature. And because it is the easiest thing, it is, one standpoint, it makes us feel good in a sense. But again, there's no such thing as a righteous anger. We are entitled to things like money. When anger does come, you do your best to just respond to it in a spiritually mature way. And the last thing I'm going to say is, for aspiring athletes, trying to make it to the next level. Again, for us playing daily game, junior in high school, and although I can't believe in faith that I can make it to where I wanted to be, right? And it's not easy. Especially running and running like that, I understand the challenges that you guys are presenting when it comes to trying to make it to the next level. The biggest thing that hurts you guys is just a lack of information when it comes to basketball. It's not your fault, it's not your coach's fault if they tell you something that's not entirely correct, but they can't even break down a good basketball for you in a deep level of college humanity. And there's just a lack of information that was able to get, a lack of information that we have. And even with the accessibility of things like social media and the internet, to try to gain more information about the game of basketball, just like nurses, they look up stuff all the time online. Like, I used to work in a hospital with 12-hour shifts, and people are always looking up how to do the most basic things in the computer. You guys are 8 years in school, you guys are still looking up how to do things. And it's not because they don't know what they're doing, right? But they just want to make sure. But in order to make sure, right, you have to be able to have that education and that knowledge of what to look for, and what to believe, and where to find some resources in order to pick through what's right and what's wrong. So again, even if you guys have the resources online to find out more about how to get to college and how to get better at basketball, you guys don't necessarily have that set knowledge and understanding of what to pick through and what to really look for and what you college coaches are really looking for in today's world. And again, another tough thing about Oregon and Oregon is just the lack of inspiration and the lack of people you have to look up to in the world of basketball. You think about the top recruits coming out of right now, David Monkey, right? He's at Ilani. There's more, and he's at prep school. Why? Because more opportunities in the neighborhood. There's not a lot of people to look up to. And thankfully enough, I was able to find some people here that really left, that really inspired me. And there's certain ways to get around. So the other day, yesterday, Coach Randy, he asked me at the end of the clinic, he was like, okay, what inspires, or who inspires you? And I thought about it, and yeah, I like certain players, I like certain, things about basketball. Like, there's never really been a certain specific player that has ever inspired me, especially with basketball. What inspires me is just all the people that have poured in, their time, their energy, for no money, right, in order to help me get to where I wanted to be. That's what inspired me, right? And I think back to when I was in elementary school. There's this guy, he's Coach Chip Hess, right? He ran these open runs for the high schools outside of Colorado High School and St. Anthony High School with the outdoor courts. When I went when I was a young kid, I was supposed to go, right? Against the older better kids. But he used to do that, right? Every Saturday. Run clinics out there on the hot asphalt, not taking anybody's money, teaching, trying to inspire the youth and develop the game of basketball on the road there. He was good for me. He did a lot of coaching in Philadelphia. He knew Kobe's dad and everything. So he was a great basketball mind. But again, he's those type of people who really do it for the love of the game, for the love of you, right? So that's what really inspired us. So again, just because you guys over here don't necessarily have the big NBA names to look up to, or the big college names to look up to, or Ivy coverage, AAU high school team, or Ivy coverage high school teams, it doesn't mean you guys don't have anybody to look up to. There are people around you that can help you get to, or currently trying to help you get to where you want to be. Those are the people that can inspire and motivate you, right? So don't think that you guys are at such a disadvantage. If not, that's a better form of motivation than idolizing something new, right? What's all of that?
Thank you, Matt. That was super great stuff, man. So yeah, I said it all. Life is tough. You gotta deal with so much unknown. You gotta deal with people. I know God tells us to love people, and that's probably one of the hardest things to do. But yeah, just life isn't predictable. You never know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be tough, but you said it in the second song that Josh was saying, and Matt said it in the verse that you used. If we know, if we have God as our foundation, we know who God is, then Matt said that the Christian life is not hard. Actually, God makes it easy for us like this. So if we said we have God as our foundation, then we can walk through life. So I'll pull this on clear now, so I'll get up our heads again. Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for Matt and bringing that message to us. I know that going through life, there's a lot going on. There's a lot for us to take in, and who knows what's going to happen. But I just we know that as we have you as our foundation, that we can walk through and life throws at us, and we can get the strength from you, Lord. And I just pray that as we go through life, we just remember that, and we just walk through it together with you. And I pray that for the food, that you bless it, and I pray that everyone gets home safely tonight. In Jesus' name, amen. So I know y'all waiting for this too, so Matt was giving us spiritual food, so now we got literal food, physical food, so let's eat.